Joe?
I did hear that. I saw that.
Perfect with a.
All right. We are rolling.
Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Jen Schultz.
Here.
Mike Hayes.
Here.
Jennifer Watkins.
Here.
Tom Powell.
Here.
Chris Hunt.
Here.
And Kit Williams.
Here.
Welcome, everybody. Let's get this thing rolling here for our consent agenda first. If you guys had time to review or have any questions about the agenda.
I do not have a code compliance report.
Okay. Minus the code compliance report that's on here.
So. Court the last couple of things. But you just go through it.
Okay. If nobody has any questions or concerns, I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda from June 11th. Noting that we're gonna have a report of code compliance.
Okay, any second?
Second.
Second by Kit, all in favor?
Aye.
Carries 5-0.
Signature, please.
Signature, all right, so
Is it all right?
this time it is. Good job. Wherever Stetson is. Only took what? Well, he's new, but I'm not. All right, let's go to presentations, guest speakers. Who do you have noted first? Yeah, somebody in down.
Tyler Berry with
The rec.
Circle Recreation Commission. You're up.
You're up.
Do I sit here or do I
No.
stand up there?
Come up and have it. Yeah,
We'll be official, okay?
might as well. That way we can see you.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me. My name is Tyler Sperry, new director of the Circle Recreation. Thought it'd be a good idea to come and introduce myself formally to your council and give you a bit of an update as to how things have been going with the rec over our 10 months in the position, and then maybe wrap that in a bow tie with a request. So we believe it's going well. Registrations are up pretty good, usually about 15% in all the different sports with the numbers of kids that we are getting. So that's great. We've established a mission statement and we have our core values, which is also wrapped around the T-Bird Way, which T-Bird Way stands for teachability, belief, integrity, respect, and discipline. And so we're asking all of our coaches during our coaches meeting to then be presenting the kids as they see these character traits exhibited, that we're presenting them with the T-Bird Way Award. So at the end of the month, kids are being recognized for their coach's recommendation for being tremendous, exhibiting that type of a characteristic. So more than just athletic foundations for the youth, we're also incorporating and really pressing like, hey, we're here to build good people, good citizens as well. So, and we partnered with Gambino's for that. So as the kids get the certificates, they're getting some pizza with that and bringing the family. We've also introduced the free and reduced meal plan. So that is any kid who is on the free and reduced meal plan with the school district is also getting a discount for registrations. Usually it's around 50% off that they are getting for those discounts to register to play the different sports. And that's where we've seen a lot of the increase. We had 86 for our baseball and softball season that registered who were on free and reduced meal plans. So 50% off for those kids and getting a lot more, capturing a lot more kids who would otherwise might not be playing. And we are, so many practices and games are still being held in the city, but the need arose to find alternative space for the baseball and softball season. So we did run some T-ball games over at Benton and then at Oil Hill as well. And we're building upon the foundation that the city had previously set here. So thank you. So prior discussions were had between the rec, Mr. Newberry, Mr. Ingalls, Nick Ingalls, who's our president, and with some legal team involvement. And we humbly realize now that we should have come before the board instead of just having those conversations. So we can improve upon that, which is why we're here today. So apologies for not being here sooner than 10 months ago. There are, with the prior arrangement, and I'm circling back to mostly the ball fields at this point, there have been multiple concerns from our board, and several citizens shared it with us as well, and some coaches that have brought to us that the fields previously had been poorly maintained, not mowed regularly, not being irrigated, not chemical to take care of the weeds. That oftentimes volunteers were the ones who ended up doing just that, pulling weeds, spraying, dragging the fields, etc. Or a lot of times, as you probably well know, a lot of those volunteers were coordinating the permanent fixtures that are now in place, the lights, the poles, getting Westar to put some things up there. Dennis Mullen said that he was a big part of that, irrigation, some dugout repairs, and some other improvements as well. So we, as a rec, and discussed it 2 nights ago at our board meeting, are interested in a kind of 1-year trial to utilize the facility to see if we can find some common ground where both parties would find an agreeable solution that we would all be pleased with. That being said, we kind of have some big plans that for Circle Rec just kind of in the future, and we want to partner with our city. We want to be a big part of that. So it's great for our district, great for our program. And then tangibly, as we grow, there will be future increased value brought to Towanda through increased sales tax revenue, should the events get to stay local. So while I don't have anything formally to present, more of to open that discussion back up if the council is. And I don't need any sort of response right now. Just
Quick question, Tyler.
Yeah.
What leagues did the youth teams play in this year?
like all the sports or the
Like,
actual.
Coach pitched softball. What league did teams from
The
around?
league
there
that
play?
they're incorporated with, what league were they involved
Okay,
in?
so baseball, softball was the Wichita Heights Junior Baseball Softball
Okay.
League.
So Heights, same as,
I want to know some of the teams involved in
Well,
that.
I know some of them because Sophia played.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So, but I wasn't sure what the league was.
Yes.
What do we do? What do we do for high school age baseball?
High school is the Art Valley. The high school. And we don't
nothing.
have
Right.
anything offered for our high school kids. The oldest that we can offer at the rec league, at least with that league, the Wichita Heights Junior Baseball Softball League, is through 8th grade for baseball, through 9th grade for softball. It's kind of weird how it works out.
Because I know some of the softball girls were playing over at the high school this year. Karen
Yeah.
went over a couple times to watch them.
Yeah.
Is there no Babe Ruth League anymore or any of those types of?
I haven't heard about a Babe Ruth.
It's through El Dorado.
Is it?
It's now it's the veteran or the American Legion. And then they have their own Babe Ruth at that point. I think they'll play still at El Dorado.
Of all the leagues that we participate in, the football league, the basketball league, the baseball league that we're in, it's the most official, has the most rules.
Okay.
And seems to be really well ran, well organized, have an official website. We pay a scheduler pretty well to put everything together, and all the districts seem to be aligned.
Okay.
Give me being part of it for all those years until now, give us a part of what you're requesting. What was this year like without the efforts of Towanda's fields? I mean, what did that put you guys in? You had to go be the away team when you were supposed to be the home team at other facilities.
Oh, no. That part of it never happened, but just some of the challenges that we face is we're completely, since the rec cannot own any property, we can't own buildings. We are at the beck of the district and what they're able to provide for us.
And what did they provide?
We had high school facilities we had 2 nights a week, mostly Tuesdays and Thursdays, where 8 teams would practice up there at the facility. Each team got an hour and a half, cages, and then some time on the field. And then at 7:30, those first 4 teams would roll off, the next 4 teams would roll on. So sharing the complex with.
'Cause that's a nice complex.
Very nice.
And I see that would be preferred over anything that we have to offer.
Sure.
But
So-
you're saying for the little ones,
Little
it
ones.
would be nice.
Machine pitch, they were mostly at either the Benton fields, those two dirt fields over there, which we did put quite a bit of money into upgrading those fields, added some dirt. We started using that bigger field, which was previously overgrown and run down. So we did some work on that one. And then we utilized Oil Hill. They have two backstops in the playground. It's actually pretty good size of grass as well. Anyway, utilized that, and then we used Towanda Elementary as well for T-ball and some other first and second grade machine pitch. So the some of the challenges became the machine pitch games, or whenever we started running into games that were going on during the season. Well, now some of our practice teams that didn't have games. Once the season was over, we only got one game a week. And so we were trying to keep some practice. Oftentimes, as we started running more games at the fields, some of the parents teams were only to have batting cage available. So there was some, I guess, disgruntled coaches that, well, we would love to have a field. So I said, yep, understand.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
So these volunteers in Benton, they just you took parents, you had volunteers go put their time, their efforts into creating a pretty decent facility at Benton. They were,
No, it wasn't volunteers. It was Carson, myself, and then some of the high school staff.
okay. So,
No games. Yeah, no games were in Benton. Well, T-ball games were in Benton.
okay. I'm just wondering I mean, I don't feel like the council ever didn't want to work with the rec. It's just that it fell on the city and the cost of it. And you guys saw the breakdown. Andy made that breakdown very fluent and like for everyone to see what Towanda was doing, Towanda's citizens. I mean, it's not us, it's the citizens we're paying for those facilities to be maintained. And of course that takes away from our maintenance crews time and they weren't ideal, they weren't perfect, but all the boards of previous worlds, back 20 years ago were, Billy Barden's out there putting light posts up and Dennis Mullins, we're all digging every weekend. People will spend their time trying to improve the fields. And a lot of that was just out of the kindness of all the coaches and parents' hearts. So the city has maintained stuff, provided the land, the opportunity, but not really ever done what we call the seasonal cleanups and stuff. So that's going to be tough if you guys are the ones that are in charge. If we do say, hey, use our fields again, it goes back to you two doing Benton, Oil Hills, and now Towanda's upkeep, right? I mean, is that what you're telling me?
So that's what we want to open up the discussions about, is potentially for an exchange of services and money.
Okay. I'm just trying to feel you out on what I don't know. We haven't been involved in it since we were out of it here.
Yeah, it wouldn't be just for the baseball softball season too. Obviously, football is coming around. It'd be nice to have access to that. Some of the lights, we're adding a soccer program as well with you. 5v5,
The little day harsh field.
7x7. What's that?
The little day harsh field.
Yes. Yeah. And so looking for anything due to time change, whenever that happens, several of those teams, if they start in late February, will need access to some events.
That's what I was going to ask. What's your time frame for trying to establish your agreement?
Whenever, no rush. If something was agreed upon before August 4th, that would be awesome, just so that we can get some of our first and second grade or flag football teams out there. Which is when we start practices. But football is less of the deal than it is than baseball is.
We should have the field for circle on a lot of that too. Didn't you get that on the weekends? The circle field.
The football field?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We'll run games up at the turf field.
Okay, I was gonna say that surely hasn't changed.
And most of our practices would be there. They actually allow us to use the baseball fields for practices out in the outfields. And then there's that the big football field behind the tennis courts that we can utilize as well. It's just whenever that time change does happen, that you don't have light out there, which is only usually 1 or 2 weeks left of the season. It's past 7 o'clock practice.
So are you guys gonna come up with a proposal? What are you doing? I mean, tell me what I know
Yeah.
your board's talked. We were in the same position as we were before.
Right.
That it sits out there, it's not utilized except during those times. And obviously the youth here, we want to support.
Yeah.
But, maybe not all on Twanda's citizens' backs.
Right.
So that was the big argument as to how this is gonna go now that you guys have positions and have a tax base. And I know it's not a huge one, but it's still there. I mean, it's still a salary that wasn't there prior. So you guys are gonna come up with like a proposal for us?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
We probably draft a memorandum of understanding, and if we come to an agreement on that, maybe something that's been thrown around is more of a fixed cost with everything, and just kind of a flat fee that says it'll be done and taken care of.
Okay. Cause I mean, truth be told, we were about to brainstorm on some big ideas out there. Weren't we? What do we have out there? We had like,
Here's
Dog
our wrench,
park.
I'll throw it in your plan.
we had all these ideas, yeah. I mean, basically a little oceans of fun going on out there by the pool.
Let's take the baseball.
More water.
I'm teasing. Yeah, I would say it could be oceans of fun if we don't get on it with this water project. Okay, so I appreciate you coming in.
What do you need from us, Tyler?
He doesn't know yet.
You don't have
Probably
any,
feel like that's what
you need
we're
any, you need
We're just
people
gonna
to sit
negotiate.
down with you? What do you need?
Yeah, yeah, we'll present at least an initial, and we can go from there.
Good.
But if we're willing to have those conversations, we'd love the opportunity
Sure.
to give back to those people.
Good.
Sweet.
Are any of you opposed to that right now before they waste their time? Okay, See?
Opposition from me.
no opposition. That's what we want to hear.
Butter than
I'm not
Gold
opposed.
Stone or whatever she said.
Oh, I was teasing.
I know.
But I mean, there's so many things.
Oh, I
No, the baseball, softball, Dayharsh Field, all those were there for that particular reason. I mean, if we can have some sort of a working agreement
Right.
where we don't feel like that one town is being absorbed, which is, I think that was kind of the feeling when we started putting numbers to it. It got kind of scary, like, oh, we are covering a lot. And we don't even realize how much we're covering,
Sure.
on a month to month. So,
We can make it work. I think it'd be great. That
Yeah.
would, like you said, yeah, 50% roughly. So we're on reduced.
yeah,
Some of those people have a hard time getting somewhere. So if there's a way we can make it work, I said we do.
I agree. And Twan, I mean, the location's perfect. You guys are right here. I hated to see it. So we'll see what we can do. Come with something.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Carson.
Thanks.
See ya.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
So thanks.
Just go. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, add that to the rec.
Perfect.
Oh, they've got
We'll see you
that
guys.
there.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant in their signups. Okay. Anyone else here to present or speak
No.
besides business? Then let's move to old business. That is your floor, Andy.
All right, so Lisa's, we're gonna talk about the demolition hearing for 309 Main. Lisa,
The demolition hearing that we originally had scheduled for this evening has been postponed at this time. We'll tentatively we'll revisit it at the next meeting next month, because we have received from a licensed engineer a assessment of the assumptions that we previously had questions about regarding the building.
Hey there.
Licensed engineer. And the notes on here say that once, JEO is reviewing this document at this time. And it's noted that once the reviews are done and the engineers have been given the go-ahead, that drawings would be forthcoming. So we're gonna postpone the hearing for now. I do believe Mr. Jones and the contractor is here, so if they have any updates, we might want to see where we're at, what their plans are.
Let's do it.
Well, basically, you guys have any questions here to answer? You guys get a chance to look at it yet?
No, we haven't.
No, it's like, we don't know what to
Right.
ask.
So basically, we're waiting for Brad and his team to review it and see where the request collides with the answers. So it should match. Everything we do is based on the code and building code. So he's an engineer talking engineering. So they are based on the same building code. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's just
Great.
So may I say that we had required that in the engineered drawings and the plan, that there were no assumptions. And that means, well, you can do this, assuming the footing's good, or assuming the foundation is good.
that is
So
correct.
we
that's
said
what
we were
Brad-
going to,
Agree on the report.
right, so that's what the report is. The report is dealing with all those assumptions. So the engineer, we looked up the engineer, and I think he spent 7 years with PEC and is a reputable engineer. He actually went out and inspected the property and has some recommendations, and basically is saying that the front of the building is leaning, and that's got to be fixed before all that can go ahead. Since we received that, that was forwarded on to JEO, our engineers, who specialize in these buildings. They're going to review it, and I talked with Brad, and he said he's going to do his best to get the review and everything back to you by the end of the week.
Yeah, they were kind of busy too. So
Yeah.
yeah, but they're good people too. So
So upon Rob's advice, he agreed for us just to postpone everything until next month and see
See where we stand.
where we stand at.
So by next month,
We
you
have
should
time.
be able to have the complete renderings and engineered drawings and everything.
right, based on whatever Brad sent us back on the matching with the report, yes, we will.
So then from there, once the plan is approved and our engineers approve it, then we need a timeline as to
Mhm.
when this is going to start, how long it's going to take.
You will get one.
Give me a estimate of what you think. Once you get this rendering and this approval to move forward, what are you thinking? Just so we know, just so people have like a feeling of, is this a 6-month project? Are we gonna get into snow flying
No.
and some delays and into the next year?
As amazing it should probably seems like, it seems like there are just 5 engineers for the whole state of Kansas. And probably Brad with his company or the company he works with is one of those 2. They are so busy. So far with this report, we answered every single request that he made. So we're just waiting for his professional letter to say that it's a go. And then from there, probably 2 months, 3 months tops.
Okay,
To start.
No, well, actually, once he gives us the go, the green light, it will take probably 3 months for us to get it done.
Okay, but we're still requiring a complete
Set of plans.
set of plans, right?
he's like, once that's established, you're talking 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months. Yeah. By the time
Obviously,
that we
depending
get
on
the
what they
approval-
require.
By the time that we get approval, until the project is done, probably 3 months. No more than that. We want to get it done before winter.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, if this is like
Yeah.
a how long project?
Yeah.
So,
When did we actually receive this report?
We received it
2 days ago?
yesterday, Tuesday.
Yesterday.
Coming back from
Yesterday.
holiday, I'm trying to calculate my days. Tuesday.
Right.
Yes.
And
Okay.
just throwing this out there for what it's worth, I've been talking with the owners of Gambinos, and they're extremely frustrated.
Mhm. I bet.
Yeah,
They have every right to be.
and they have every
They
right.
have every right to be.
Yeah.
Right. But this reassessment of the property, it was needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm glad we've got to this point.
Yeah.
Let's keep it rolling.
We will.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
thank you. Capital improvement progress, capital improvement plan progress.
So just an update, these next 3 are just updates. Lisa has, has been tackling the outline of the capital improvement plan. Once we get that framework done, then we'll start gathering costs and replacement costs for equipment, roof evaluations, building evaluations, and everything. Proposals for what goes into the capital improvement plan. Matt did a capital improvement plan prior, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Anyway, it was a good framework for us to start out with. But it is interesting, the size of the projects, the size of the costs have increased greatly from that plan to what our plan is going to be. Because everything's older.
Give me an idea what this is gonna take. Is this a year? What are we talking
No.
on this?
No, we should have this
I feel like since I've been on this council, that's what we talk about forever.
right.
I don't know. I just don't know. I knew Matt did some, but I was wondering how long.
So what we're planning on doing is probably by the end of the year at most to put the plan together because we need it in place before we start the budgeting cycle for 2027.
Okay. Is
Right
that
now,
doable, Lisa?
That is doable, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it will, once the plan is in place, it will have to go to the planning and zoning board to be sure that it's in line with the comprehensive plan. And then it will come to you for final approval, but you'll have it before then, a copy to review before then. But yeah, we should be able to do all that by the end of the year.
Okay.
yeah. So the place where it has the biggest effect is on our budgeting process because it drives, what we're budgeting for as far as replacements, improvements, all that kind of thing.
Right. I mean, it's the backbone of all the things that we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
So, good. Okay. And the update on the gas station?
Yeah, so the gas station lot, I don't know if y'all saw, they were over there taking soil samples again. I think this is the third time they've taken soil samples, but they took a lot of them. And I think they spent two full days out there drilling, taking soil samples. I asked the guys how far down they could go, and they said the deepest they found was 12 feet. And he said a lot of other places they couldn't even go that far because of the rock.
Mm-hmm.
So I warned him. I said, if you drill too deep, you might go into the cavern. Just saying.
Just saying, yeah.
They screwed up my cucumber plants.
Right. Farmer market down there is gonna be a problem.
Cucumbers are gone.
Okay, so on that note, again, they're doing their drilling.
Yes.
We still have an option, and this is for all the Facebook folks out there that are listening. This is not a new thing. This is something that's ongoing. And this is something that we're trying to remedy and get in a good spot for that lot there to figure out what we're going to do in the future. The council's still working on what we're doing for that lot in the future. It's kind of in limbo because of this, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. We can
No.
do what we want, but knowing they're still drilling.
Well,
I mean, if we lay
yes.
concrete, it's a little premature to jump in with both feet and say we're going to go build, something amazing or a stage or a performing arts building, but they're drilling, so we need to give them their time to get their stuff done.
And then they're planning on by the end of the month or the beginning of August to remove the dirt. Remove and replace. Once that's done, they said it takes about a week. They pull everything out. They put the new dirt back in. We'll use the dirt from our lagoon that was taken out of the lagoon to make the lagoon. And then they pack it as they go so that whatever's built on it is stable.
So meanwhile, the council could be coming up with some stuff, like we keep talking about at workshops, for what we want to do with that. Do we want to create something? Do we want to put it up for sale? There's a lot of things we can do. But right now we're in a kind of a holding pattern until all that dirt gets replaced. Okay, so that's the clarity on that. Paul, Andy, anyone, if you have questions otherwise. Water system.
Water system, design process. So, I don't know if you've seen the JEO trucks out and around the town. They will take about 6 weeks to do all the surveying. And they are surveying the whole town, is what I think. I don't know exactly, but at the minimum, they're surveying, where the water lines or design will go. What they're trying to do is figure out what the lay of the land is. I thought maybe they would do soil samples or, along that line, but, I don't know what all the topographical map will show, but, that's what they're doing right now.
Don't let them start drilling, we'll have water leaks. They start drilling down in there.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
start moving dirt, you got water leaks, so
right.
hopefully they're not doing that.
So sales tax initiative, I have a meeting next Tuesday, with JEO, and they're gonna help us formulate that. I thought maybe we could have a workshop between now and the next council meeting, to get that on the, ballot, for November. We need to have it to the county by, August 31st at the latest. She said if you could get it there sooner, that'd be better. I had turned in the application, the pre-application or the application to apply for the state revolving loan fund. I turned it in, and then JEO called and said, did you get that application turned in? I said, yes. And they said, well, you're not on the list of people who are approved to apply. And the list is huge. So I called KDHE and sent an email, and basically his response was, you don't have a comprehensive, water conservation plan in place. And we should have told you that, but we're short-staffed, so sorry. So to apply for that, again, we're gonna have to get a water conservation plan in place. We do have like a minimal one in city code, a water conservation plan, but it's not satisfactory to, it's not comprehensive. So that's another plan that we've got to put together so that we can apply for that, should we decide to apply for that. Since we're not able to access that money for this cycle, and that puts, I shouldn't say since we're not, what I'm saying is that JEO has started the process to apply for the second round of the, water office grants. Now we're going after the construction grant. We got the design grant, that was the 390,000. And now we're going after the bigger grants that are, hopefully 2 million.
I thought JEO was supposed to help you with that.
But didn't JEO know we had to have a comprehensive plan?
Well, I thought they helped you with that application, is that not right?
They did help, yes. But
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
So let's talk about how long this required water conservation plan takes. Is this something that
It
is gonna
shouldn't
delay
take
us?
long because KDHE has a template and says, here's what we're looking for.
Okay,
Fill it out,
so it's just getting it done,
getting it done and adopting it.
and then they'll apply for the second round.
Right.
All right.
And, we're applying for the state revolving loan fund because that's one funding option. We just wanted to have our hat in the ring, as they say, for that funding option. We've got
Just
other
in
funding
case.
options.
All right.
So,
Let's back up and go back to the sales tax initiative workshop.
Right.
We need to put something on the calendar if we want to do it, because
Right.
August 31st is gonna come before we can get it.
Before you
So
know it.
let's do it while we're here. What can y'all do?
we do keep it on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesdays are nice.
What about the 23rd or the 30th of July?
Either of those work for me. The sooner the better. We get into August and we got
Right.
23rd.
23rd?
23rd is good.
I'm out of town.
You are? So 30th, are you?
Oh, but it can be.
Kit?
I'm here.
Chris, you said either?
23rd, yeah.
You're here the 30th?
Or the 30th.
Jenny?
Yep.
Mike?
Jerry Drive in Salina.
Ooh,
On the 30th?
With that entire week.
the whole week, so it isn't gonna matter. If we do, how about we could pick another
Go
night.
ahead and do the 30th and I'll just see if I can get out up there early. We've got to get it done.
30th.
23rd, I'm clear. 30th, not so much.
And also, we could do a Zoom thing. I mean, if you can, somebody can't make
We
it.
could Zoom or make it another night. Is there another night that fits?
Do the 30th.
Okay. You're fine with it. I'm fine with it.
6:30?
6:30.
Figure out how to get here and pull over beside the road and do a Zoom.
Okay. 6:30 on the 30th, sales tax initiative. All right. It's there. Go ahead. On the next. Are we on what? We're on the resolution.
Yeah, so since we postponed the demolition, then we won't have a resolution. They were separated because Lisa was gonna have to put information into the resolution after the hearing was done. So,
Got it.
so I sent the budget that we talked about the last time. I sent that to Carolyn Brock, the woman that puts our budget in the proper format for the state, county and the state. We have a meeting, I think on the 20th, I think. So we are going to exceed the revenue neutral rate. I don't know by how much until she gets that all plugged in.
I forget, do we say we're exceeding it and then have to state by how much or just we're exceeding it?
At that time, we have to state how much
Okay, so that's the July 20th
deadline,
statement. All right, so we're going to exceed it. Now we just have to say, here's how much.
by how much.
All right.
We have any idea of what the bottom line of the budget is?
Yeah, so it's the general
Right,
fund.
Like I said, I didn't get a chance to look at this a whole lot.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
You say you didn't get a chance to look at it a whole
I
lot.
didn't get a whole lot
Okay.
of chance to look at it. It's got
So can you nutshell it? That's what he's
just
asking.
a
Yeah.
number.
No, I can give you the whole nut.
Yeah,
What's
not
the-
even just the
What's the
shell.
bottom line number?
Bottom line, so the bottom line for the general fund budget is 882,000
Okay.
in expenses. For 2025, our budget bottom line number is 101. But the amount that we need is based on how much
Right.
money we have in the bank and how much revenue we're gonna get in.
Correct.
So we're actually going to ask for 398,000.
Okay.
Which I believe in 2025, we asked for 341, I think.
And you
Okay.
broke that down for us to show each
Yeah.
way. Okay, so we can review that. Anybody have any questions
Here's bottom line.
for Andy about that? All right. Okay. Is that all on that,
Yeah. Okay.
council? Okay. Safe streets.
Safe Streets for All grant update. So in talking with JEO, basically what they're saying is that if we do the study, we're paying $17,000 for this study. This study should provide lots of additional information for other grants that we go after, be it federal or state. their recommendation is whether they do the study or not, that we should do it because, just like this 254 corridor, we will have the data that shows where our safety issues are, be it Sixth Street, be it how our Main Street is configured, and the intersection at Sixth and Main. It could propose walking paths, like sidewalks, how to get people to and from places safely, how to get kids from Trailer Park down south up Sixth Street. And once that study is done, then they can plug that information into like the cost share program from the state of Kansas, from KDOT, and then the other federal grant, which is the second part of the Safe Streets for All program, which is a construction program.
So they say it's a good idea. They're not guaranteeing us any grant money, but without it, we're gonna have a hard time even applying or being pre-approved to be approved for any of this money.
Right.
So
Right.
we're dumb if we don't, but we're also taking a chance that these will all time out at some point, and then they gotta start over. But at least it gives us a foundation.
Yes. And now that we have like an engineering company that applies for grants for us and goes after funds for us, let's give them the information that they need.
Yeah. Because we can't come up with it on our own.
No,
What was that good for?
That's the deal. It's like,
I don't know.
it depends on which grant I suppose we're applying for and what all the requirements are.
And
Well, what I'm saying is, so we do this, and a year later, they say, we want to apply for this, but 366 days, sorry,
Oh.
it's not good.
no, I think
That's what I'm asking.
I think the only thing that would cause it to be out of date is if the community changed. Like if now we've got housing down there and we've got new housing over here and we've got, housing.
Dramatic changes.
Yeah.
To not be able to do it without another study.
So as
Which-
long as,
The history of Towanda is, I think we'll be all right for a while. Pretty slow moving. Pretty slow moving. Okay. So how do we go about getting this to happen? This
just,
is,
I just have to push it through now. So everything is waiting, it's not a big rush to get, the agreement rolling. Everything is ready. The state Safe Streets program is just waiting for us to get our end done. And they're still working on 2024's grants.
So we said to pay them, so here it is.
Yeah,
gets us in queue.
Right.
right. And I've been dragging my feet.
And we're getting the
because we've
money.
Had this discussion.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well-
We need to request an RFP do we need to issue
Yes.
an RFP to, JEO?
But, everybody,
Okay.
yeah, it's an open,
Only the JEO or any other insurance firms also?
no, we have to issue to anybody who wants to,
So we're gonna publish an RFP.
yes,
All right, that's what I assumed we needed.
So that'll be next meeting?
yes.
All right.
Mike, what you just asked, we had to do.
Publish an RFP, request for proposal.
Okay.
To do the grant, because most of them do require. Put it out.
And I've already had like 4 companies, ask for that, which we haven't got yet.
All right,
A lot of people want to do some studies.
Since you get any money.
Yeah,
easy money.
till it comes down to the work.
Sometimes.
All right. Moving on, new business. Look at us go.
I got a couple of questions. I guess, go ahead, because I should have asked it before.
You can ask them now before we get to a new topic.
I have noticed in the maintenance report, Ryan was talking about streets and being short on help the rest of the summer. Is some reason for that contracting out Clay Hill Road?
No, I think what he was saying, Ron and I talked about this. What he's saying is we've got so much to do, streetwise for one, and then everything else that they are
I didn't
requesting.
know if we'd lost somebody or.
No,
Okay.
It's
But I
too
know
much
there's-
to do a
there's-
full road repair.
Sixth Street's got off of potholes.
yeah, Right, and the Clay Hill Road's got issues yeah, that's another thing we were gonna talk about on
Okay.
Rainbow Drive.
Okay,
But, I said the budget's already in place.
Yeah.
Or already in, so factoring in another maintenance person, another full-time maintenance person is something the council's gonna have to discuss for probably 2027.
okay, all right.
What other question? You said two.
That was primarily,
Okay.
one, does he need help? And number two, can we,
Are we
what are
losing
we gonna
anybody?
do on places like Sixth Street? Because, we're already talking about it being a hazard to drive an emergency vehicle down. I mean, there's some healthy potholes on that road.
Drive fast enough, you can launch off the railroad.
And, well, you got the shoulder where
Catch
you
flight.
can just go ahead and wheel off and roll out into the front yard. But anyway,
I'm joking.
okay.
New business.
All right. So our ordinance to create the water system debt service fund, we're gonna have, be it sales tax, be it, income from utility bills put into the debt service fund. We need to segregate those funds so that they specifically go to pay for the water service fund and they don't get used for anything else. Especially, we're gonna put that in the sales tax ballot initiative. We say this is what it's gonna do, then it needs to physically do that.
Okay.
So the ordinance to establish that is ordinance, 725.
So I'll need a motion to get ordinance 725 on the books.
That's simply the motion to establish the fund, correct? Correct, okay.
Yeah.
I move we approve ordinance 725 to establish the city of Towanda Water Debt Service Fund. And to establish the fee.
Okay. Second by Chris. All in favor? Carries 5-0.
So that gives us a place to earmark monies so it can go into recess.
Right.
Correct. So,
Okay, next is water rate resolution.
So we had discussed this, last council meeting. And so based on, these rates are based on the study, that was done for us by the Rural Water Association. It was based on the figures that we gave them, expenses that we have incurred, also includes an amount to put into that water debt service fund. Each month. So the fees that we're proposing is $25.05 base fee. And that's all it is a base connection fee. And then $10.90 for every 1,000 gallons used. The way we're doing it now is that the base fee included the first 1,000 gallons, but we pulled that out. And actually, most the water utilities are going to that billing rate for that system.
What number is this?
This is 2025-08.
I've got a question before we get into
Sure.
motions here. Why is the city residential base rate $25.05 and the mobile home base rate $22?
Because it's billed as a bulk for them out there. And it's
Don't we
billed,
have other mobile home parks that aren't billed as a bulk? Do we have any?
No.
They're all billed bulk.
yeah, the
All bulk
three that
now.
we have, yeah.
And we have no maintenance obligations on any of those systems?
No,
None
not
of
in,
none
not
of
in,
the
not
trailer
in the
parks.
park.
Do we have any? Okay.
Right. And so it looks like it's less, but I have to, according to my formula, I've got to price it so that a home in the trailer park, their bill is within a few cents of a home in town. Because out there, we take the bulk water that's used and then we bill for that. But we also bill, the base fee and everything according to the occupied residential units that are out there. So we don't bill for we only bill for those
Occupied.
units that are occupied.
Correct, I understand.
So since that changes and it's a different formula than billing for an individual house, I've priced it so it's within just a few cents. If you take a $4,000 or 4,000 gallon usage for, say, the house across the street there, it's this amount. If it's $4,000 or 4,000 gallons out there, it should be within a few cents. Yeah.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for the resolution 2025-08.
Make a motion, we approve resolution 2025-08.
Okay, any second?
Second.
Kit. Seconds, all in favor. Passes 5-0. All right, moving on. After I do this, all right, what are we at here? Sewer rate,
All right.
resolution 2025-09.
I again have a question.
Yeah.
Same question. Residential customers, what, $12.75? $10 in the mobile home park.
And
They
that's,
do have the maintenance responsibility on that sewer, is that correct?
no,
I didn't think we gave them the sewer system.
I think we did according to the establishing of the ordinance.
Pardon me?
I think the trailer parks are responsible for the water and the sewer.
They now are responsible for all maintenance on the sewer out there.
We don't.
We don't do it.
Remember, we went,
Yeah, but I thought we did think of the sewer because we
Do you
did.
mean to make residential and commercial the same?
yeah, I wondered that too.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
Okay,
As far as what are we looking at? That's the sewer. Yes, the sewer. Yes.
It's all, yeah.
It's all-
simple numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
And so what we're proposing here is we're billing it the same. What we do is we take the first 3 months of water usage, which actually are the lowest water usage months of the year. We average those. And then for the next 9 months, the rest of the year is billed at that average rate. So we know that in the summertime, people water the lawns, they water the gardens. So all that water does not go down the sewer.
So I was asked this, I guess, and maybe I answered it wrong. Somebody had asked me about the average thing. And they said, well, what if we have a toilet leaking or something? January, February, March, we don't catch it till April. So
We-
heck, I said, just go in there and talk to them. They can
Yeah.
evaluate.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If it's like way out of whack,
yeah,
one of those months, yeah, well,
That's what I thought.
yeah, sure. So what we're proposing here is just adding another $5 to the base rate, and that is to help pull. We can't use the sewer and water money for streets or other projects, but we can use general fund. So, but we can allocate maintenance costs to water and sewer. So if we can allocate more to water and sewer as far as maintenance goes, then we can use those general fund dollars to put more into streets, more into capital improvements, into new equipment.
okay. 2025-09. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-09 as written.
Any second?
Second.
Second by Kit, all in favor.
Looking,
5-0.
nothing again. Too fast.
Okay. Moving on to mobile home park rate resolution.
Right. So I can't put together cost figures for the mobile home parks until we've established the water rates and the sewer rates for the rest of the city. Now that that's done, then the rate that I propose here, again, should give the people out there within pennies the same rate that everybody else gets.
This is just reflective of the other two things we just did.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion. This will be number 10.
I make a motion to accept resolution 2025-10 as is.
Any second? Second by Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Jenny, okay,
Thank you.
5-0. Okay, we got all of that accomplished. Street repair on Rainbow Drive. Oh, wait, Mikey has a question.
Sure, I have a question. Has anybody considered that the water leak may be inside
I
that,
can see it.
Well, that would show up in the meter.
whatever?
Yeah,
Now that they're all
Yeah.
got their own main meters.
yeah, because everything, all the water that
Through
goes,
that meter, but
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going through that meter, is that meter been extremely high at any point during the water? Okay, that was my
and,
question.
and actually, if you take the occupied residential units, and divide that, the big meter out, is pretty comparable to
Well, no, because we should be able to tell if that leak is out there,
yeah,
not what goes through that meter and what.
Yeah,
right.
that ought to be.
If it's showing,
Shown
automatic increase
So if they've got,
or unless it's been going through there for 4 years.
so if they've got like 100 trailers occupied out there and their average water usage is 10,000 gallons per trailer, when the rest of the town is about 4, then that would say, yeah, something major going out there.
We would just like to know where this water leak is. We're just trying to know.
Did they hit anything when they core drilled over at the old gas station?
No,
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
rock,
kind of hoping they'd hit some.
right. It's like, here it
Yeah.
is.
Yay.
Geyser,
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead with you.
Rainbow.
So street repair on Rainbow, I don't know what Lucas's address is out there. Anyway, the street is literally sinking.
I saw his little Facebook post.
No, okay, I don't look at Facebook, so.
I know you don't, but it's on there and you can see it just like, it's just dropped.
Right,
So there's a lip,
so what it sounds like, there's potentially a sinkhole there.
potentially a water leak.
Yeah, well, there's not a water line there, but,
Oh, dang it. Rats.
but so we're getting, cost proposals. I thought we'd have, some proposals, cost proposals tonight, but we don't. For doing concrete, to solidify that, and then also, fixing some curbs. So I don't have.
What's the warranty on that street? Anybody know?
What?
Gel light.
Is that thing still valid, you think?
Yeah, I know.
Until I get all day. What's the warranty on that? Yeah,
You know, every time there's an earthquake tremor or fracking tremor, my concrete sinks about 2 inches.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
surprised
had,
other
we have
places-
those flood, did it happen right after the flood? Because we have flood damage.
it's been going on.
It's,
FEMA's got some money they're handing out to
we had a pretty good tremor 2 weeks ago. 4 weeks
I'm
ago.
just looking, anything.
And it was after that, he said something to me because he was over Corpus Christi, working on the race car.
Oh, yeah. So he showed me a picture of his curb, the driveway and the curb, and in the heat, the curb heaves. And it literally moves like 2 inches up and down with the heat. Anyway.
Fans and good tracks,
Hmm.
probably water, like you said.
Surely there's still some more workmanship.
Uh,
Leverage on that.
It's only been 30-some years, so.
That's what I was
ought to
thinking,
be
yeah.
Covered under warranty.
Ought to be. All right, so we need to do something. What are we just
We're just waiting
Discussing-
on costs right now.
discussing.
I thought we would have costs, but we don't.
okay? So that's something that we all know about.
Next month.
Other new business, nothing stated. Public comment time. Does anyone out there have a public comment they would like to share with the council tonight? Going once, see you later. Okay. No executive session. Questions out of the council, anybody? You've asked yours, you're done.
What do you mean I'm done?
You're cut off with your questions. Anybody else?
Is there any update on the 254 River Valley?
Yes, I can't talk about it yet until we get the official letter, but it sounds like it's gonna be really good news.
Excellent.
And it sounds like things may, I don't know timelines, but I've been talking with KDOT, and I will let you know when we get the letter.
Fantastic.
I know 2 or 3 mornings here recently, early at the moment, there's been lumber trucks out there. So, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. Might be some progress. Not that we don't ever encourage pitching a fit, but I do love that sometimes that works. Cause you know, every once in a while, a little nudge.
Little nudge.
We're gonna call it a nudge.
I noticed the commission was working on budget, 3 days this week for the county. Do we have any idea what a bill is going to be worth dollar wise
For the county?
here?
Oh, for here, yes.
10,000?
Yeah, it's right at 10,000. I can tell you that if you give me,
Which really helps us figure out what our taxes are gonna be,
Well,
since they're all in charge of that for their 3-day session, which is fine. Everybody's gotta
better
be,
get in there.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I got another murder case today.
that is,
What we can say is because we're going to have to increase our budget, we will not have a downturn on taxes this year.
no.
That's all we can say.
Right.
We don't know anything else.
$9,782. No, take that back.
You need help?
Your glasses, you just put them down.
Yeah,
Apparently those don't help.
so our revenue neutral rate is 35. Well, I have to get back to you on that. I thought it was on the,
In round numbers, 10 grand.
yeah, round number 10 grand.
So
yes.
we're gonna be at somewhere around 39. Plus
Yeah.
or minus about 4 million.
Right. So our revenue neutral rate is 35. We don't have any exemption pending. And because of our little issue that we have and Benton had, I think the county, as I understand it, are considering how they handle those exemptions.
Exemptions.
And that way we're not banking on something and then all of a sudden
It's not there.
Between the town, and the fire district. And the town, the fire district, one bill's 52.
yeah. 'Cause you got
Large
local territory,
valuation,
yeah.
54 square miles.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah,
Which reminds
you
me.
act like you knew that.
And I-
Okay,
Okay.
we good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll entertain the motion.
Next meeting. Entertain.
TC. Says adjourn. Anybody second?
Second.
Jenny got in there. All in favor? Huh?
Aye.
Still me.
You can stay, but you got outvoted, so there's 4-1. Mike wants to stay the night.
See ya.
Bye, Jen.
Who made the motion?
Oh, Jenny,
Jenny.
TC made the motion, Jenny seconded. I think we have all in favor.
Sounds like it.
Sounds
Yeah,
I
like
was making dinner, I missed it.
There's pizza over there. for
pizza.
Anybody.
Yeah, we weren't even used to it. Chris?
I'll go. Bring it back.
Okay, guys, if I donate a couple of lines for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have something there, but I don't know what happened to him.
Can I bring some too? Just,
We won't oppose.
All right, next time.
I was going to say you could move seats,
Have a.
but there's not that many great ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Good night.
You too.
Yeah, so the engineering thing you said,
So.
yes, you got to be fixed. You got to do this. You got to be fixed. And it was-
It's not a have to,
Well,
you can see it.
Yeah.
End of the whittling for me. You took me.
Gentlemen, from high school, how do I get hold of them?
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, let's just.
They're right at the end of the,
At,
End of the block.
White metal building down here.
Yeah,
That's where they're off.
okay, that's what I need to know.
they're also listed, I'm guessing, on, if you just Google Circle Rec. Oh, never mind. I didn't realize. I didn't realize.
That's okay.
I'm like, if you just Google it, they're gonna pop up their names and their positions, but that's fine. Or you just go walk in there.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Are you still rolling?
That's what I need to know. I'm gonna try to set up a competition. I know